This is Chris Medeiros. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to this channel, Chris Medeiros, and subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I am here to do my AEW Dynamite February 9th, 2022 review. So here we go, discussing about the first segment of AEW Dynamite. Now with the first segment, Wardlow came out and he brought out some cardboard cutouts of MJF. One where he's sitting down on CM Punk pretty much, with his legs crossed and everything. And then you got him bringing out another one with MJF got the headlock on CM Punk from last week's match. So yeah, that's what he did. And then we had FTR that came out, and same for Shawn Spears. But then MJF came out all alone and stuff with his theme, and it was pretty cool entrance. Now, pretty much it looked like he was sitting like a king, on the throne pretty much, with people carrying him to the ring. Now, that was pretty cool. He had like two ladies. One of them kissed him on the cheek, and then the other one, he straight up started making out with him. So, yeah, pretty much it made it look like MJF was pretty cool. But he gets into the ring, and then he starts talking, and then, of course, the crowd hates MJF, telling him to shut the fuck up. And pretty much MJF was talking about how he's better than everybody else, and how he beat CM Punk and all that. And he apparently, and this is like his celebration and stuff for beating CM Punk from last week. And we seen Shawn Spears pretty much having a gift for MJF with a pretty much, it was like it'll be on the t-shirt pretty much saying better than the best in the world, which was pretty cool. So yeah, MJF was pretty much gloating the whole time about how he beat CM Punk last week. But then CM Punk came out and Tony Schiavone's right there holding the mic for him, and he was talking about how he wants a rematch. And MJF said, "I'm not going to give you a damn rematch." And Punk said, "Nah, not a rematch against you. I want a rematch against Wardlow." Because pretty much Wardlow is the reason why CM Punk lost last week. And he said he's going to give him the damn rematch and all that. But then MJF kept on saying no and all that. But then he said, "Well, I got some friends right now." Darby Allin and Sting came out, and MJF, telling them that they ain't going to have the rematch. But then he said, "How about this? How about we have a tag team match?" Because Dax Harwood grabbed the mic, and he starts talking about how he's been ready to fight and everything. And MJF pretty much saying, "How about this? FTR versus you and a partner of your choosing. It cannot be Darby or Sting. And if you win, you get to have a match against me anytime, anywhere." So yeah, that's what MJF says. So apparently later on tonight, it'll be FTR versus CM Punk and a partner of his choosing. So he has to go backstage and look for a tag team partner. But yep, if him and his partner wins, he gets a match against MJF anytime, anywhere. So yeah, pretty good segment. I like the segment. MJF pretty much coming out like a king and everything. Was pretty cool. But yeah, pretty good segment so far. And yep, it was pretty good stuff. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was the first match of the night. It was Wardlow versus The Blade one-on-one. Now, Wardlow had Shawn Spears came out to ringside as well. So yeah, it was a pretty good match between the two. Right when the match started, when Wardlow has back turned, doing his entrance and stuff, The Blade came up and started attacking his leg, pretty much going after the leg majority of this match. But then at the very ending of this match, we seen Wardlow pretty much hitting 4 power bombs onto The Blade, laying him out. Now after the second power bomb, Shawn Spears was telling Wardlow to go ahead and pin him, but instead Wardlow went for 2 more. So yeah, he hit 4 power bombs onto The Blade, and then he puts his foot over The Blade's chest, and he got the 3 count. So yeah, Wardlow defeated the Blade tonight on Dynamite. And then while Wardlow was celebrating his win and stuff, all of a sudden Shawn Spears gets into the ring and hits the Blade once with the steel chair, pretty much taking the spotlight away from Wardlow. So yeah, it was a pretty good match. With the match and what happened after the match, I'll give it 1.5 stars. It was a pretty good stuff. So yeah. But still to come later on tonight, Adam Page will be defending the AEW World Heavyweight Championship against Lance Archer in a Texas Death Match later on tonight. And CM Punk still gets to look for a tag team partner to face FTR tonight. And yeah, up next, Inner Circle will be having a meeting up next. So yeah. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, so we had Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager came out. So it was just them three. And Jericho said that the Inner Circle meeting is mandatory. And, he said that they haven't seen Santana or Ortiz all day. And then also Santana and Ortiz came out to the ring, and Santana was talking, and pretty much every time when Jericho was about to say something, Santana pretty much shut him down quick, saying, "I'm not done talking. You're gonna listen." Like majority of the time, which was pretty cool. But yeah, Santana said, it's all because of his fault that the group is breaking up and everything. And he said if it wasn't for Ortiz holding him back, he would have beat the shit out of Jericho already. So yeah, that's what Santana said. And Santana said that, Jericho's the reason why him and Ortiz are not the AEW Tag Team Champions. So yeah, that's what Santana was saying. But then, Santana and Jericho was getting face to face about the fight. And then Sammy Guevara was like, guys, this ain't the time. Like, y'all should not be fighting or anything. And then Jericho tells Guevara to shut up. And then Sammy said, I already quit in the circle before. I'll quit it again until y'all make up and all that. So he pretty much quit Inner Circle. And then Ortiz grabbed the mic and he started talking, saying, where we come from, we stopped talking and we started fighting. So yeah, that's what he said. He said next week, them two versus Jericho and Hager. So yeah, next week it'll be Santana and Ortiz versus Jake Hager and Chris Jericho in the tag team match next week. So yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty good segment with Inner Circle. But then Roppongi Vice was talking backstage, talking about how they're going to be having a match against, I think, the Young Bucks on Rampage. But then the Young Bucks and Adam Cole attacked both of them backstage, laying them out. So yeah. But still to come later on tonight, Adam Page versus Lance Archer for the AEW World Title in a Texas Death Match. That'll be the main event. So yeah, we'll see you guys later in something. Oh yeah, and Jay White made his AEW debut as well, and he laid out Trent Beretta. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, so Isaiah Cassidy came out to the ring with Mark Quinn at ringside, and his mystery opponent was Keith Lee. So yeah, Keith Lee made his AEW debut tonight on Dynamite. It was a pretty good match. Glad to see Keith Lee wearing his old attire before he got onto the WWE main roster. So yeah, it was pretty cool to see him wearing that, and he looked pretty good in this match. He won the match, of course, because it's his debut, and he does qualify into that ladder match. But at the very ending of this match, we see his finish move. I keep on forgetting the name that he calls it, but it's an attitude adjustment, pretty much mixed in with a splash onto Isaiah Cassidy, and then he got the 3 count. So Keith Lee defeated Isaiah Cassidy in the match, but then Mark Quinn started attacking Keith Lee from behind, and Keith Lee got knocked out the ring, and Isaiah Cassidy tried to hit a crossbody onto him. Lee catches him, throws him down the ground, and then Mark Quinn jumps over the top rope doing a front flip, and Keith Lee caught him in the air, and then power bombs him onto Isaiah Cassidy's back, and then he lifts him back up again, and then power bombs him, but this time on the ring apron. So yeah, pretty good stuff. So for the match and what happened after the match, I'll give it all 2 out of 5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Pretty good match. It didn't last very long, but it was okay. So just because it's his debut and it was pretty good and everything, I'll give it 2 out of 5 stars. But yep, so far Dynamite has been pretty good. But yep, good stuff so far. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a tag team match. It was Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler with Tully Blanchard at ringside FTR versus CM Punk and a partner of his choosing. And MJF was watching backstage the whole time. And all of a sudden, Jon Moxley's theme song hit. So yeah, Jon Moxley was CM Punk's tag team partner for tonight. Now, if Punk wins this tag team match, he will be facing MJF anytime, anywhere in the match. So, yeah, and this match was pretty good. I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Pretty good match between these two teams. A couple of times it looked like FTR was going to win. FTR at one point hit the big rig onto CM Punk, and then Jon Moxley barely breaking up the pin at 2. But then at the very ending of this match, we seen Jon Moxley try and hit the paradigm shift onto, I think, Dax Harwood, and then Cash Wheeler almost got hit with the GTS from Punk. But they both fought out those moves, and they got Jon Moxley out the ring, and then they was trying to hit that power driver onto CM Punk. But then Jon Moxley came back into the ring, getting the chokehold onto Dax Harwood, and then CM Punk locked on the Endicon device on the Cash Wheeler, making him tap out. But the issue was the referee wasn't looking at Punk. She was looking at Jon Moxley, trying to get Jon Moxley to break up the hold from Dax Harwood, and that gave enough time for Tully Blanchard to come in, pretty much start smacking CM Punk with his jacket. Then Punk got up, hits the GTS onto Tully Blanchard, laying him out, and then Cash Wheeler tried to roll up Punk while grabbing the tights, and Punk kicked out at 2. And then at the ending, we seen CM Punk hit the GTS onto Cash Wheeler, and then Jon Moxley hit the paradigm shift onto Dax Harwood, and Punk went for the pin and got the 3 count. So yeah, CM Punk and Jon Moxley defeated FTR tonight in a tag team match. So yeah, CM Punk gets to face MJF anytime, anywhere. But yep, pretty good match, like I said. I'll give that match 3 out of 5 stars. Good match. But up next, Jade Cargill will be in action, I think, defending the TBS Women's Championship, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's defending the title, I'm not for sure, but she will be in action up next. So, yeah. I'll see you guys later. Until then. So, the next thing that happened on Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was Jade Cargill versus AQA, I think that's her name, for the TBS Women's Championship. So, yeah, it was for the title. And this match was okay. At the very ending of this match, we seen Jade Cargill hitting the Glam Slam onto AQA, laying her out. And then she got the 3 count. So, Jade Cargill is now 27-0. And she retained the TBS Women's Championship. It was an okay match. I'll give that match a star. I'll give it 1 out of 5 stars. It was an okay match between those two, but yeah, that's what happened. And yep, Jade Cargill is still the TBS Women's Champion. But still to come later on tonight, Adam Page will be defending the AEW World Championship against Lance Archer in a Texas Death Match later on tonight. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was Serena Deeb versus, I think the girl's name was Katie Arquette, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Serena Deeb pretty much cutting a promo before she gets into the match, saying that she better be honored that she's facing her and all of that, and how she's going to beat her in less than 5 minutes. And so the match starts. It got the clock on it, on the match for 5 minutes, and Serena Deeb made her tap out in 1 minute. Serena Deeb defeated Katie Arquette tonight in a one-on-one match. And just as fast as that match ended, this video is just discussing about this match is now ending. So yeah, I'll give it a half of a star for that match. So the next thing that happened on Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was the main event. It was the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Hangman Adam Page versus Lance Archer with Jake the Snake Roberts and Dan Lambert at ringside for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship in a Texas Death Match. Now, the only two ways that you can win this match is pretty much, it goes by last man standing rules, like if you're down and you're not up by your feet by the count of 10, you win, and you can win by submission. So yeah, it's one of those two. But this match, of course, we all knew it was going to be a brutal match going into it. Both of these guys were bloody. It was a grueling match. So here we go, talking about it. At one point in this match, we seen Jake the Snake pretty much attacking Adam Page during the match, clotheslining him. And then he was trying to hit the DDT on Adam Page, but Lance Archer stopped him from doing the DDT. And then he gets hit with the DDT by Adam Page. But yeah, that was a pretty cool moment right there where Jake was getting like himself hyped up, which was pretty cool. While everybody was hyping him up and stuff. And then there was one point in this match where the steel stairs is like standing up on the side. And then we seen Lance Archer hit his finish move where he lifts his opponent up high, like above his damn head, and he like drops him down to the mat back first or whatever. He does that to Adam Page on the steel steps while it was turned sideways from inside the ring to outside the ring. So yeah, that move was brutal as shit. And then at the very ending of this match, we seen Adam Page using the barbed wire that he wrapped around his forearm, hitting Lance Archer with it. And while Lance Archer was on the ring apron, he throws a barbed wire down on the mat. The referee bends over to pick up. And while the referee's bending over, Adam Page then jumps over him, hitting the buckshot lariat onto Lance Archer off the ring apron through a few tables. And then Adam Page got up on his feet and Lance Archer got counted. Adam Page defeated Lance Archer tonight in the Texas Death Match, and he retained the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, pretty good match between the two. I'll give that match 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it a pretty good match between the two. But yeah, for tonight's AEW Dynamite as a whole, I'll give it 7.5 stars. Pretty good. Actually, I'll give it 8 out of 10 stars. That's why I'll give it pretty good Dynamite tonight. The main event was pretty good. FTR versus Punk and Moxley was pretty good. The segment with MJF from earlier was good. Inner Circle meeting segment was pretty good and all that. So yeah, pretty good stuff on Dynamite. Subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other YouTube channel, Chris Medeos, to subscribe to this channel, Word of Chris, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll be doing my AEW Rampage and my Friday Night SmackDown reviews this Friday, so expect those to be up. And yeah, I'll see you guys later until then.